It's time for the trucker John live stream. Gonna be a good time. Oh yeah. The trucker John live stream. Come along for a good time. It's a good time, good time, good time, good time. Trucker John live stream. Gonna be a good time. Gonna be the time of your life. Gonna talk some shit. Hush your mouth. Gonna talk a little smack. Gonna talk whatever comes of it. You're gonna always wanna come back. Oh yeah, it's the Trucker John live stream. He's the biggest, baddest, funniest mother you've ever seen. Watch your mouth, he's headed south. Not even sure what that means, but if it's one thing I know, the Trucker John live stream is the best thing you've ever seen. It's time for the Trucker John live stream. Gonna be a good time. Oh yeah. The Trucker John live stream. Come along for a good time. It's a good time, good time, good time, good time. Trucker John live stream. Be a good time. Gonna be the time of your life. Gonna talk some shit. Hush your mouth. Gonna talk a little smack. Gonna talk whatever comes of it. You're gonna always wanna come back. Oh yeah, it's the Trucker John live stream. He's the biggest, baddest, funniest mother you've ever seen. Watch your mouth, he's headed south. Not even sure what that means, but if it's one thing I know, the Trucker John live stream is the best thing you've ever seen.
Project 2025 would dismantle democracy as we know it.
He says, "You're not going to be a dictator, are you?" I said, no, other than day one.
Is a vision of implementing a startlingly authoritarian form of the U.S. government.
Same thing with the unions. They get their little 5%. They get another 2%. They get another 3%, 4%. Then all of a sudden, they're making more money than the people that own the company.
Do you do larger cuts, corporate cuts?
Yeah, I was planning on doing it. In fact,
You believe in punishment for abortion, yes or no, as a principle?
there has to be some form of punishment.
For the woman?
Yeah, there has to be some form.
What's at stake here is democracy itself. It's now Donald Trump's party. And if he's elected, the consequences will be catastrophic.
Donald Trump loves to say,
Fake news.
was it fake news when Donald Trump was recorded bragging about sexually assaulting women?
When you
you're a star, they let you do it. You can do anything.
Whatever you want.
Was it fake news when Trump called Mexicans rapists?
They're rapists.
Was it fake news when Trump said he was pro-choice until right before he ran for president?
I'm very pro-choice.
Was it fake news when Trump had his clothing line manufactured in China?
They're beautiful ties.
They are great ties.
The ties are made in where? China? Ties are made in China.
Was it fake news when Trump said women should be punished for having an abortion?
Do you believe in punishment for abortion? Yes or no, as a principle?
There has to be some form of punishment.
For the woman?
Yeah, there has to be some form.
Was it fake news when Trump refused to defend U.S. soldiers after Putin and Russia put bounties on their heads?
It never reached my desk.
Was it fake news when Trump defended white supremacists?
Very fine people on both sides.
Was it fake news when Trump spit on the memory of John Lewis?
I don't know John Lewis. He chose not to come to my inauguration.
Do you find him impressive?
The truth is, none of it was fake news. The truth is that Donald Trump is a no-good liar.
In God's name is happening right now. It turns out that the fakest thing about West Wing was not the veneers on my teeth. It was the fact that we had rational Republicans. Can you imagine if I walked into the writer's room and pitched a character like Donald Trump? Like, okay, guys, how about this? Guy we're running against, he's a 34-count convicted felon and adjudicated rapist who found some way to declare bankruptcy 6 times after his daddy gave him almost $500 million.
The reason that I'm coming forward now, I helped pull the wool over America's eyes towards a guy that should not be president, should never be president, and should be fired from the whole thing.
You talk a little bit about the way that that Trump was in reality versus the Trump that people saw on the show.
Well, what you see right now is sort of what he was in reality. He was, to a large degree, someone who was an entertainer. He really was not a good businessman. Our job is, from a marketing perspective, for the conceit of the show, was to make it seem like he was a legitimate businessman, competent, good judgment, compassion when needed. Mm-hmm. None of those things were actually apparent, but that's what we had to do to make the show work. And so we created that narrative, made it seem like it was money, like he was living in royalty, with the cars and the limousines and the helicopter all labeled Trump, in gilded, like the gilded New York age, and then had to position him as a great potential CEO. And I say potential because he never really was a CEO. Right. He was a lot of little businesses that he had. But to make the show work, we had to make it seem like that. And unfortunately, that, because we just pummeled American with those messages, that remains there right now. And to many people, even though there is significant things that you can see right now that where that's not true, many people think it is. And right now, with the economy being one of those things that people are looking at, we made him seem to be a very smart businessman. And quite honestly, that is not true, because he wouldn't have 4 bankruptcies and then ultimately 6 during the time of Apprentice if he was that good.
And now, ladies and gentlemen, the moment you've been waiting for, Trucker John. Good morning, good morning, good morning. Let me know if you guys can hear me. Hopefully you can hear me okay. Maybe give me some thumbs ups in the chat real quick if the sound is okay. Kind of weird on my Trucker John account on YouTube. When I look at the show, I'm unable, for some reason, at the little thing that you push to go to, so you can go to from top chat to all chat. It doesn't exist. It's not on here for some reason, and I don't know how it just disappeared. So I'm actually watching on my iPad. I'm watching from one of my other channels. I do have other channels. I have a trucker. I have a one called Fowler's Wrath. I just made that because I do this little online mobile game that I play, and so I made a channel just to post some of those videos I made of that. It's like a car racing game. So that's the one I'm actually watching the chat on because I can go to all chat. Otherwise, I won't be able to go to all chat. Looks like I got some thumbs ups from Nick Rich, so I guess the sound is okay. Thank you so much, Nick. Let me just say hi to the chat. Bob Newell's here first in the chat, and Andrew Petrie's a little upset because Andrew says, "Damn, I wanted to be the first in." Well, second best, I guess. But here it is, 9:16 a.m. in the Pacific time zone here in Las Vegas, and we are at currently 67 degrees. Not too bad. I guess the expected high is about 80, I think 86, something like that. 86, 87. That's kind of hot, kind of warm. Probably about a good 5 or 6 degrees above average for this time of year. Anyhow, let's see, Mr. Bob Newell, can you hear me? Mike Mayberry's here. Hey, good to see Mike Mayberry. Thanks for joining us here in the lounge, driver's lounge. William's here. Good morning, William. Aaron West, one of our wrenches, part of the mod squad. Aaron West, thanks for being here. Midas Kevin Anderson is here. Tamara Price. Good to see you. And there's Nick Rich, like number 8 at 9:03. So there you go. Just scrolling on down here. Let's see. Aaron says, "Hello, Canada." We have a lot of Canadians, that's for sure. Excuse me as I take care of some business there. Let's say here. MJ Daniels here. Good to see MJ. Thanks for joining us in the lounge. Jolie's here. Hello, Jolie. Thanks for being here, as always. Jolie helping us out here with the modding and really has been a part of the show for almost the beginning. Came on and said, "Trucker John, you need some help." And boy, did I. And boy, have I appreciated the help from Jolie. And thanks so much. We got Teresa TAK. Hello, Teresa. Nice to see you here in the old chat room. Let's see. Scrolling down here a little bit. What should we talk about today? What's going on? What's going on? Polar Vortex is here. Hey, Polar Vortex. Good to see you. Good morning to you. Good morning back at you. Hey, Erica Cubs is here. Good morning from Chicago. Chicago. I gotta love Chicago. Thanks, Erica Cubs, for being here. Arizona Sunflowers is here. Hey, Arizona. Good to see you. Jim Adelberg's checking in. I see you. See you in the driver's lounge. Alarasia's here. Hey, Alarasia. Good to see you. Thanks for stopping on in. Stopping on in to the driver's lounge. You are welcome, Teresa. Polar Vortex, I voted in Canada. Yay. It's important to vote wherever you're at. Hey, there's Azolda Zen. Good to see Azolda. Thanks for joining us. Azolda says, "Trucker John, what has been your favorite song lately?" Oh, boy. That's a good question. I don't know if I have any favorite songs lately. I really haven't listened to anything new. I don't think whatever's new is out. I just, when I'm in the car, I listen to Apple Music and I sort of mix up the different playlists. Sometimes I'll listen to some of the newer pop music just to, keep up with the times. But probably my most listened to playlists are either the rock or the classic rock or alternative. Alternative is probably my favorite, especially from the 90s. The that Nirvana, Pearl Jam, Stone Temple Pilots, Soundgarden, all that kind of stuff, and all through the 2000s. But the latest stuff, I don't know. I don't even know. I mean, I don't know what's the big hits today. What's the big popular songs today? And maybe I'll recognize the name or something. Erica Cub, Chicago, my kind of town. Chicago is, yeah, that's the way to do it. My kind of town. Mike Mayberry saying hello to Erica Cubs. You're in Chicago. Have you heard of the band Local H? Polar Vortex, provincial election up there in Canada. All right. Well, I hope whoever you voted for wins, unless unless you're an extreme right winger or something, which I don't think you are. Mike Mayberry, you should listen to Local H, TJ. Local H. Check them out. Jolie, I voted with my two daughters yesterday. Well, good for you, Jolie, and your daughters. And you guys are awesome. Awesome family. A family that votes together stays together. Isn't that the saying? MJ Daniel, I have been in the mood, I guess, for Chicago lately. For the band Chicago? I take it, since we're talking about bands and music. A few weeks ago, I guess, sometimes, I go on YouTube and I'll listen to music, like music videos or concert footage or concert stuff. And I actually got into this little rabbit hole of Chicago and some of the really early stuff. I like the early Chicago much better than the, was it Michael McDonald era? I don't really like that as much. But the early Chicago hit and the hits, I don't do a lot of deep dives, but most of the popular, whatever the popular music was out at the time, like in the 70s. That's the Chicago I really like. Polar Vortex says, "Hey, Trucker John, have you heard the song 'I've Been Everywhere' by Stompin' Tom Connors? I bet you've been everywhere." Well, I've heard, if that's the one mainly like the Johnny Cash version, I've been everywhere, man. I've been everywhere. I've been everywhere. And then there's like a whole list of cities all across the country. Yeah, I've heard that song, and it's a great song to play when you're actually driving a truck, and you go, yeah, I've been there. I've been there. And there's another, there's been lots of covers of that song. I think one of the alternative bands kind of did it. Wasn't it? I don't know. Did Devo do that, or cover it, or I don't know. Some other band kind of covered that too. But yeah, I think I'm mainly familiar with the Johnny Cash version. Teresa says, "I like music from the '70s and on classical music too." Wow. MJ Daniel, don't hear much new music. Keith Fleet, I'm listening to more and more Beatles. You can't go wrong with the Beatles. I don't care what anybody says. The Beatles are the best band ever. Best rock band ever in the history of rock music. I don't care what anybody says. And look, I love Led Zeppelin. I love Van Halen. You guys all know I love Van Halen like nobody's business. It's great bands. Lots of all-time great bands, the Stones, whatever. But as far as I'm concerned, Beatles still number one. Let's see. Polar Vortex voted NDP, the party that brought in universal health care in the early 60s. Awesome. That's what we need down here, Polar Vortex. We need to get that universal health care going down here. William says, "Keith, you can't go wrong there with the Beatles." Yeah, you can't go wrong with the Beatles. And like I said, no one has knocked them off their throne as far as I'm concerned. In terms of just being trend-setting and being innovative, of still being a band that you could listen to 50, 60 years later. You know, they hold up well over time, you know. And so does Zeppelin, I think. I love Zeppelin, but anyhow. All of a sudden, Kashmir started getting into my head here. Let's see. Nick Rich, jazz, old and new. All right, so Nick Rich is a jazz guy. I'm not really into jazz. You know, sometimes a little jazz here and there, but I'm not like into it. And then there's all kinds of different jazz too, right? So anyhow, Zola Zen says, lately I kept getting House of the Rising Sun stuck in my head. Maybe it's the time of year. That's a great song. It was Eric Burden and I always think it's Eric Burden and the Animals, but I could be wrong on that. MJ Daniels says, same with the Doobie Brothers. McDonald is fine, but I prefer the early stuff. Right. Hey, Rob Glenn's here. Hi, everybody. Happy Thursday. Happy Thursday back at you, Rob Glenn. Thanks for joining us here, hanging out with us for a little bit. I suppose we'll be seeing you tomorrow. Tomorrow's Friday, yeah. So we should be seeing you tomorrow over there at the Hal Sparks Show. By golly, I'll tell you that much for sure. Polar Vortex says that's the one written by an Australian. I've been everywhere. That was written by an Australian? Wow. Teresa TAK, Doobie Brothers were good. My husband likes them. I like some Doobie Brothers, yeah. A little Doobie. Jesus is just all right. But Midas Kevin says, yeah. And I like that song too. Yeah. Jesus is just all right with me. Jesus is just all right. Let's see. Polar Vortex says, you need Kiefer Sutherland's grandfather. Wait, Tommy Douglas? He led the NDP party at the time healthcare was voted in. Is Tommy Douglas still with us? I kind of doubt it. Tommy, if you can hear me, Tommy, can you hear me? We need you, Tommy, to come back to life. MJ Daniel, Classic Rock Stations here plays the Breakfast with the Beatles show every weekend. Fun to hear the really obscure stuff they play. Yeah, when I was on the road a lot, but I usually it seemed like it was usually like Sunday mornings that stations would do the Breakfast with the Beatles, and that was always fun. Not only to listen to the great music, but yeah, there would always be, stories in between about the background, the back stories. Always interesting stuff. Mike Mayberry says, any Faith No More fans? They're my favorite band of all time. Wow. Well, of course, Faith No More. Like I said, I don't really do deep dives, but they're. What was that one big hit that they had? I can't remember the name of it. I'm sure Mike can tell us. That's a great song. I really love that one song. I can't remember the name of it, but I'm sure Mike knows it. Andrew Petrie says the opening of Trucker John is my favorite song. There you go, Andrew. That's what I want to hear. Timeless classic. It's time for the Trucker John live stream. We're gonna have a good time, good time, good time, good time. I don't even know the words to my own song. Let's see. Rob Glenn says, what's up, Nick Rich, 56? Well, I always reverse it. It's 56, Nick Rich. Erica Cub says, for those about to rock, we salute you. AC/DC, yes. AC/DC, great band. Gotta be one of my top 10 all-time favorite bands. Maybe even top 5. I love AC/DC. And I don't care what anyone says about all their songs sound the same. They don't. They might sound similar because they're all written by Angus Young, or whatever. And his great riffs. Who did the riffs? Was it Angus or Malcolm? I think it was Angus who came up with all those great riffs, right? Polar Vortex, American Woman by the Guess Who, great Canadian band, right? American Woman, get away from me. American Woman, a woman let me be. I said, yeah. Oh. Polar Vortex, no, Tommy Douglas passed, but yes, he's here in spirit. So yes, Tommy, we need your healthcare system down here in America. Getting goofy. Getting goofy? Teresa, TAK says, also like the group Journey. Oh, that group. I don't think you need to preface it with the group Journey. I think we know who Journey is. Anyhow, Don't Stop Believing is my favorite song for them. Yeah. Don't Stop Believing. Great song. It is a great song. And Journey's a great band. Nick Rich says, I'm accumulating some questions for tomorrow's show, Rob Glenn. Any suggestions? I don't know why I just gave you that silly voice, Nick. You know I love you. But for some reason, I assigned a really silly voice to you. It happens. It happens, you know. MJ Daniel, the Faith No More video on MTV was very cool. By Kevin Burt Me Binder. Wait, Burt? Oh, Burt Me Binder. Alrighty then. Aaron West says the classic station here plays grunge music, laughing out loud. I like me some good grunge. You know, if we're talking Nirvana and Pearl Jam, Alice in Chains, you know, all that whole genre. That 90s alternative. I'm there, man. I'm there. Faith No More, give it away. Give it away, give it again. That's Red Hot Chili Peppers. Give it away now. Whoa! Yeah. As Old as Zen says, Polar Vortex, that was one of the first classic rock songs my dad played for us. Cool. That's pretty cool. Let's see. Polar Vortex, I don't go in for that newfangled rap music the youngsters play. Is that wrong? No, you like what you like. We all like what we like. Hey, man, you know. Like what you like. Midas Kevin says, Aaron, I listen to Wicked Up. There's Stephen King favorite radio station. Oh, WKIT. Is that? I'm like, what? Let's see. Mike Mayberry, Faith No More's big hits were Epic, Midlife Crisis, We Care a Lot. Yeah, I remember that one. Easy, Ashes to Ashes. Because there's We Care a Lot, and one of those in there, I don't. Besides We Care a Lot, there's got to be one of those is the one I'm thinking of. We Care a Lot. I know that was a big hit, but there's another one that I like, and I guess I don't know the title of it, and it might be one of those ones. It might be Epic or Midlife Crisis or Ashes to Ashes or Easy. I don't know. But there's another song besides the We Care a Lot one that I really like, and I guess I don't know the name of it. Because I just listen to the music on the radio. I don't, as I'm driving usually, so I don't really, maybe sometimes I don't know the title of the song. I don't know. Nick Rich, can you help John with his filters at Rock Glen? What's wrong with my filters, man? Other than the fact that the thing you got to remember, I'm just moving that over a little bit, so the Harris Wall sign is more in line there. But the thing you got to remember, Nick, is I'm doing this of a phone app, and I'm not saying that I'm some sort of expert in computers and putting filters and graphics. I'm not, as you can tell. I do these, I draw them, the Sharpie. But as far as the filter thing is concerned, I'm using this Prism app, and there's only that's all there is. It's not like Hal has a computer. He does his off of a computer, and he's able to load Snapchat filters onto his. I think he uses OBS or Streamlabs or whatever he's using. I don't know, and he's able to download or all those filters from. I think it's from Snapchat or wherever he's getting them. I don't have that capability. Even if I knew how to do it, or even if I was more computer savvy, Timo savvy, I would not be able to do it with the setup I have currently. And I'm doing it all on my phone, and so it's very limited. So just to let you know, I mean, I appreciate the reaching out to Rob and all that kind of stuff, but there's really this is as good as it's gonna get until I get a better maybe a computer, a pooter. Why did I say that? And go that route. But right now I'm doing everything from the phone. I mean, I'm using an iPad. The thing you see me looking down at, that's the iPad, and because it's just easier for me to see the chat, and I can, if I need to type something in, I can type something in or whatever. But basically, the show is being broadcast from my iPhone, and it's on an app called Prism, and I'm just stuck with whatever filters that the Prism app has. So just so you know, just so you know. Let's see. MJ Daniels says, I saw AC/DC live. I still have an Angus buck they dropped from the ceiling, like money, only with his face on it and In Rock We Trust on it. Oh, that's cool. That's a great little keepsake. Little souvenir there. Let's see. Rob then says, Nick Rich, sure, he's connected with me, so just needs to ask. All right, Rob. Well, thanks for being available. If maybe someday when I do get a computer, I'd like to get like a nice gaming computer or something that would handle a lot of stuff, I guess, and run the show from the computer instead of from my iPhone. And then maybe at that time I will ask you some stuff. So beware. I might be asking you something. Minus Kevin, Mike, don't forget Last Cup of Sorrow. Polar Vortex says Bernie Sanders equals Tommy Douglas. So I guess we already have our Tommy Douglas. And I know Bernie Sanders has been a big proponent of Medicare for all. Someday we'll get it. I think we will. I think we will get a national healthcare system, universal pay, Medicare for all. Maybe even within my lifetime. And, who knows? Let's see. Andrew Petrie, I took Billy Gibbons from ZZ Top to a blues show in Hamilton, Ontario when he was 23. When I was 23. Oh, not when he was 23. That's pretty awesome. That's cool, Andrew. How did you know Billy Gibbons? That's an interesting story right there waiting to happen. Teresa says, my husband likes the group Rolling Stones. Really? There's a group called the Rolling Stones. I wasn't aware. Mike Mayberry says, I'm telling you, if you like 90s grunge, you'll love Local H. They had the hit Keep It Copacetic. Huh. Not sure if I remember that. Maybe if I heard it, I would remember it. MJ Daniel says, fun quote from Angus Young. I'm sick to death of people saying we've made 11 albums that sound exactly the same. In fact, we've made 12 albums that sound exactly the same. That's funny. I think AC/DC is great. Hey, there's Robert Perez. Says hello, you trucker Johnny and all the hip cats out and about. Well, hello to you, Robert Perez. Thanks for being here and joining us. There's Mr. Spock in there. Good, live long and prosper. To the old Mr. Spock. Fancy is here. There's Fancy. Did I say hi to Fancy already or not? Anyhow, I'll say hi to Fancy again just in case. I don't know if I did. So, hello, Fancy. Thanks for being here and hanging out with us. Keith Fleet, oh crap, I mixed Red Hot Chili Peppers with Faith No More. Okay, yeah. Yeah, that, give it away. That's Red Hot Chili Peppers, yeah. Minus Kevin, Johnny Cash. Boy, I'm really behind, I guess. Jolie says, I just came outside to have my coffee, and it's an amazing fall day in Indiana, 58 degrees and sunny. The trees are beautiful fall colors, and I'm hanging out with some amazing people. Awesome morning. Well, thanks for painting that picture, because that sounds like a great, you have a great view, having a great morning. Now, if you could only find a better show to watch. I don't know. Mike Mayberry, the F&M song you're thinking of is probably Epic. What is it? Yeah, that's probably it. MJ Daniel, great Seattle early grunge. Mother Love Bone, yeah. Lead singer died from a heroin OD, and some of the members went on to form Pearl Jam with Eddie Vedder. Yeah. And I think that was sort of when they did the hair, was it not Hair of the Dog? They did that one sort of where they meshed a lot of members up to make that album. I think there was a lot of Mother Love Bone and Pearl Jam and all those guys in there. Let's see here. Pull of Vortex, you don't need newfangled filters, TJ. Robert Perez has been listening to old reggae, ska music. So long live Bob Marley and Prince Buster. You know, I like a little reggae, a little ska, every now and then, but a little goes a long way with me. You know, like every now and then, if I hear a Bob Marley song or I hear somebody else, and I'm like, yeah, this is cool. But after I've heard one or two songs, I'm like, okay, I'm good. I need to go. Let me go back to my grunge rock or whatever. You know, I've had my fill for 6 months or whatever. Hey, Witchy Woman's here. Good to see Witchy Woman. Thanks for joining us. Says, is someone messing with my man? His filters are fine and his mic is big enough, damn it. That's right. My mic apparently is working. So that's, at this stage of the game, that's good enough. It's working. Let's see. Mr. Spock, greetings, Rob Glenn. Do you have an AI assistant? I'll be your AI assistant. Keith Fleet, I listen to a lot of binaural beats, YouTube streams. Wow. I don't even know what that means. Polar Vortex loves some Bob Marley. Some Bob Marley, man. Let's see. Witchy Woman's here. Good to see you guys. Said hi already. And thanks for being here. Jolie says, nice, Robert. My only trip out of the country was to Jamaica. Great music. Oh, I remember. Yeah, I had a passenger a few weeks ago, I guess, was from Jamaica. We had a really nice conversation about Jamaica. I almost thought she was going to invite me to go spend a week there or something. Hey, Tim Farrell's here. Hey, gang, driving but tuned in. All right. Well, thanks for listening to us listening to me, I guess, while I'm driving. But I'll try to read some of the chat, and it'll be as though we're all talking, and you can listen in. Rob Glenn says, hi, Mr. Spock. I use the tools to make tools that then help me automate a lot of tasks. Well, there you go. There you have it. Keith Philippe, learn from Rob Glenn, prompt but verify. That's pretty funny. Stephen Sayers is here. Hey, Stephen, good to see you. Thanks for joining us here at the Driver's Lounge. Steve says, did you see Hal showed his soundboard yesterday? Yeah, well, that was one of his old ones, I think. That was one of the old ones that he said that, because he was talking about how stuff just goes out and it just sort of breaks or stops working. And I think that was one of the old ones that he had. But he probably has another one that's probably just like that one. I don't know. See, that's the thing. If I was working off a computer, maybe I could have a soundboard or whatever. I don't know. And I could do funny sounds instead of just the funny sounds that come out of my mouth. Out of my mouth. Hey, ooh, yeah. Yo, Adrian. I could have actually Sly Stallone on my soundboard instead of me trying to sound like Sly Stallone. Uh-oh, can you guys hear that? Someone's got a jackhammer going. I know that this microphone kind of doesn't pick up a lot of stuff that's too far away. I have a feeling you guys are hearing that. If you guys could hear the jackhammer, give me a thumbs up, maybe? I don't know. In the chat. Hey, Diane Bianco is here. Good to see Diane. Hopefully you guys can hear me, because that jackhammer is very, very loud. In fact, I got to go check out. I got to go see what the fuck's going on. I'll be right back. That must be from upstairs. Hopefully, it's not too loud. If it's too loud, let me know. We might have to end the show. I don't know. I guess they're doing something upstairs. There always seems like they're doing something upstairs. There, it just now stopped. Now it's back up again. I don't know what the hell's going on. I looked out the window and I expected it to be like right out. So it sounds like it's right outside my window, but it must be directly upstairs. Maintenance is doing some kind of freaking work. It stopped, so hopefully it won't go on forever. Okay, so MJ Daniel, I'm using a refurbished Dell desktop mini tower I got from a local shop for $275. Good deal. Sounds like a good deal. Arizona Sunflowers, we already have Medicare available. I don't want it. You don't want Medicare? Why don't you want Medicare? I mean, if you have something else that's better, then fine. Just keep whatever the better one is, I guess. But for some people, Medicare is all they can get or all they can afford. And I turned 65 in a year, and I will probably be going straight to Medicare. You know? All right. Hopefully you guys can hear me now. They've stopped. I don't know if they're going to stop forever or what. Nick Rich, I smoked a doobie with my brother. Let's see here. Diane Capobianco says, I made it through Hurricane Milton here in Florida. It was scary. Lost power for 8 days. City turned off the water sewer for 2 days. Luckily, my house didn't flood from the 18 inches of rain and storm surge. Wow, Diane. Yeah, I can only imagine what that was like going through that. So I'm glad you made it. You survived Milton. It must have been really tough going, but wow. So you made it, and then now you got some stories to tell, I guess. Cian's here, says hi. Have liked and just want to say I will be free next week again. And now I'm bathing the hungry one, and then dinner, and there goes the freaking. I'm just going to call it a jackhammer. It's probably not really a jackhammer, but it's some sort of heavy tool making lots of noise. Could be a sawzall. I don't know what the hell it is. There it goes again. But anyhow, so Cian says, hope all are okay. Have a great weekend in advance. Love you all. Well, thank you, Cian. Thanks for being here, and I hope you can hear me. Mr. Spock, I have a Tandy 1000. Would be good for AI stuff. Okay. Witchy Woman Love back at Cian. Yeah, Cian, thanks for being here. Minus Kevin, Trucker John, I like story songs. The Doobie Brothers song Far From Home was made for the drummer's daughter when she was deployed to Iraq. Wow. I never knew that. I'm not even sure if I heard that song before, but I probably have. Let's see. Robert Perez, whatever happened to Trump's stamina? I think it hightailed it out of here. I'm competing with some very loud noises right now, guys. I apologize if this keeps going on. I don't know. Let me know. Should we keep going? Should I stop the show? I don't know what the fuck they're doing, man. I don't know what the hell they're doing. All right, let me get some words in edgewise here. Rob Glenn says, I always listen to Chicago-style house music while I work. Good background, and it reminds me of being in my 20s again. There you go. Yeah, that's the great thing about music. It definitely is a sort of like a time machine. It transports us. When we hear a certain song, it'll take us back to the times when we first heard it or whatever. Let's see here. All right. Guess I should try to get some stuff in, but in between whatever he's doing up there. Arizona Sunflowers. Sorry, I've got a clinic appointment coming up, so better get going. Love you guys. Take care. Hey, well, Arizona Sunflowers, thanks for being here and spending whatever amount of time you can spend. So yeah, but we'll see you on the next one. I will be on this afternoon at 3 p.m. Pacific time, by the way. Fancy, I hear it, but it's not bad. Okay. Mr. Bob Newell, is Pee Wee Reese still playing? Up there with Don Drysdale, up in the field of dreams, the heavenly field of dreams field. Nick Rich, listening to Zeppelin reminds me of my 20s. There you go. I love Zeppelin. I think they're an awesome band. I really, really do. Mr. Spock, how can AI find jobs for the mass unemployment globally? It's inevitable, and AI should be able to help with that problem. I guess I don't know what's going to happen. I guess we just have to all learn how to be coders or something. I don't know. Or maybe the big corporations that are making money and getting rid of human beings and using AI and robots, maybe they should just send us a dividend check or something, so that we can have money to buy their shit. Because if they put everybody out of work, then who's going to buy their shit? Robert Perez, sounds like a snarling beast outside his front door. You should hear what it sounds like actually in here. There he goes again. I can't imagine what they're doing. I almost feel like walking upstairs just to see what they're doing, because what could they possibly be doing in an apartment making that kind of noise? I know it's some sort of maintenance issue, I guess, but my God, ridiculous. Mr. Bob Newell, is Trump a fascist? I believe so. He's a lot of bad things. Most of which is he wants to be a dictator. He wants to be an authoritarian. He doesn't really like the Constitution. He has said as much. He doesn't like the Constitution. He thinks it should be torn up. And I don't like that sound. Polar Vortex says the jackhammer noise is not too bad, or it's not too loud. And I'm glad that it's not too loud. But for me, I can't even hear my own self speak. Now it's stopped. Mr. Bob Noel says your neighbor got a new vibrator. That's one hell of a vibrator. And, so I guess whatever yanks your crank or whatever, I don't know. Dick Rich, if the noise is too annoying, take a break. It doesn't bug me. It's just very loud in here. It's very, very loud. Hey, Roxanne Armfield's here. Good to see Roxanne. Thanks for joining us in the old driver's lounge here. Good to see you. Midas Kevin says, MJ, you mirrored me. I guess I skipped over. I was skipping down a little bit. I guess MJ Daniel was talking about They Dream, Electric Sheep, talking about robots don't dream or whatever. Let's see, I'm just skipping on down here while I have that loud, annoying noise. Robert Perez says, it sounds like Roger Stone when he gets mad. MJ Daniel says, DJT snorts his stamina. There's Stephanie B2. Good to see Stephanie. Don't Host says, sounds like a hammer drill. I really am kind of curious to walk upstairs and see what the hell they're doing. Keith Philippe says at Rob Glenn, Chicago-style house music. I'm intrigued. Bubba Perez, I'm not bothered by the saws all cutting pipe. It's very, very loud. Unfortunately for you guys, it's not picking up as loud as it is. It's so loud I can barely hear myself talk. Stephen Sayre says, has Marge Tollett Green still defending her misinformation about Dominion? I haven't heard the latest on that, but she better be careful. Dominion don't play. They will sue the fuck out of her. Witchy Woman says, honestly can't give Trump shit for stamina. I wouldn't last 3 days of campaigning, but he is an illiterate racist rapist, so who gives a fuck? Well, but the thing about it is, I mean, isn't that one of the things he was complaining about Joe Biden not having stamina? Besides saying he had dementia and all that stuff. And now Donald Trump, I mean, he looks worse than Biden ever looked now, I think. MJ, Mr. Spock says, how's your neighbors, TJ? Look like nice people. I don't even know who lives up there, to tell the truth. What's crawling down the wall? Oops, it's an ant on my phone. Oh. Fancy says Zeppelin rules. Yeah, I love Zeppelin. They're awesome. Minus Kevin, Mike Mayberry from Local HU. We're thinking of Bound for the Floor music tribute. I don't know about that. Keith Felice says, I hope AI can help us adapt to the climate change coming. Or maybe AI can help us with not emitting so much of the stuff that's causing climate change. Maybe AI can improve our ability to harness and utilize green renewable energy. Jordan says, you dumb as hell. Thank you, Jordan. Must be a troll. Troll alert, troll alert, troll alert. Josh sounds like a predator. That noise sound like a predator? Like a predator, is that a name of a drone or something? Mr. Spock says, are you going to have a Halloween show? I haven't even thought about it, actually. What day does Halloween fall on this year? If it's on a Tuesday, Thursday, or Saturday, then I might. I don't know. Let me see. Does my iPad have a calendar? Let's see. I'm looking at the calendar. Let me check my schedule. It looks like it might be on a Thursday, huh? So Halloween is on Thursday. So maybe for my Thursday shows, I should maybe take off this getup and do another getup. Maybe, I don't know. But that's a good question. I'm glad you brought it up. I hadn't really thought about it, but yeah, maybe we'll do a little something. Maybe I can hang up something spooky back here. I don't know. Sounds like a Sawzall, says Stephanie. That's what I said too, but I actually think it was something even bigger than a Sawzall. Mad Max here. Hey, Mad Mac, good to see you. This is that jackhammer sounds like my dentist. Laughing out loud. Josh, it's a malfunctioning cat fountain. I kind of missed the cat fountain. Let's see. So that was on. Was that on Liberal Dan last night? Yeah, that's right. It was, and I was lurking, and I was lurking and working. I was doing some other stuff, and I just saw the comment by Jolie, and I think Jolie and was it Josh maybe or whoever, kind of talking about like laughing about the cat fountain, and then so I only caught the rear end of it, the tail end of that conversation, and I was out of the loop on that one, on that whole thing. So there you go. Hey, Penny to Great here. Hello, everybody in the lounge. Hey, Penny to Great. Good to see you. Thanks for hanging out with us. We're just hanging, man. Just hanging, and we're competing with the upstairs. Apparently, the maintenance crew is doing some heavy-duty shit upstairs, and it's been quite annoying. But they've stopped now, so that's nice. Midas Kevin Emerson says that Mike Mayberry's song from Local H is called "Bound for the Floor." Their line in the song is "You can get any, know you're copacetic." Diane Capiano says, I had to take an important phone call. What did I miss? You just missed a lot of jackhammer, Sawzall type sounds, basically. As well as in, says TJ, thankfully it isn't drowning you out on the mic. Yeah, that's the one thing about my little tiny mic is that it does seem to drown out a lot of any noise that's further than a few feet away. So believe me, if you heard what I'm hearing, we would have to stop the show because it's so loud. Jeff Curry's here. Jeff says, someone stop the hammering. Someone in the control room is out of control. Stop the damn hammering. Nick Rich, leaf blowers are just as bad around here. Believe me, this is way louder than a leaf blower. Robert Perez, the sound is cannon fodder for the show. I don't know, but I mean, I remember they were doing this. It's actually been quite a few months. Remember a few months ago, we had the same issue with the noises, and I thought they'd be done. Now they're back. What? Why is there always something going on with this upstairs unit over here? That's weird. It's just weird how there's always something going around this place. It seems like. Yeah, Aaron says it's on a Thursday. So yeah, maybe I'll think of something. Maybe I'll hang some decorations up for Halloween. Jeff Curry's son has a Halloween themed show Saturday night. Last year he was Beetlejuice. Good thing Lauren Boebert wasn't there. Well, she might come in handy, if you know what I mean. I don't know. Nick Rich says, I hear that Don Old masks were sold out everywhere. Can't find one anywhere. Wow. Polar Vortex says, dress up as a clown, TJ, a Trump lookalike. And then I could cry, and then I would be like, the tears of a clown. Aaron West says, I will miss the morning show on Halloween. I will be doing a nap study all day after a sleep study the night before. Oh, so you might be getting a CPAP, huh? I've got one. I got one. Everyone's got one. Everyone's going to get one. We're all going to get them. We're all going to get them. We're all going to do CPAPs, yeah. I got a CPAP. I sleep like a baby with the CPAP. I gotta tell you. I gotta tell you. Ugh. I don't know why I did that. Mad Mac says break. Mad Mac, possibly they're finally fixing that water leak from us. No, well, supposedly that water leak was fixed a long time ago. Otherwise, they wouldn't have fixed my ceiling that had, because they fixed the ceiling. You know, they cut a big section out of the ceiling. They found the leak, and they told me that it was all fixed because there hasn't been any water leaking. But I don't know. I mean, who knows if it's related to that? I don't know. I guess it could be. Polar Vertex says maybe ask upstairs if you can borrow their jackhammer. Yeah, and then give it back to him when the show's over. Jeff Torrey says, Aaron, I did a sleep study. How the hell is a person supposed to sleep with all that crap stuck to you and someone watching? When I did my sleep study, it was right during COVID. So they stopped doing, because the way they had it set up for me to go to have an appointment to go actually down to the place where they do the sleep studies. It's an actual, building and everything, and that's the way they had set it all up. But then I guess they hadn't updated their website or whatever. Because then when it came right down to it, I actually did like a phone, kind of almost like a phone call meeting or whatever with them, and they're like, oh no, this will be all done at your house, and we just mail you, we'll just send you a little machine, and and it'll be hooked up, and we'll hook it all up, and you can just monitor you. And it was really easy. So they had this little thing, and I only had to attach, I think it was just one little electrode thing or whatever, and I forget now if it was on my chest or on my head somewhere. It really wasn't that big of a deal, and I just went to sleep. Turned the thing on. I just went to sleep in my own bed in my own place, and then the results got sent to them, right to them. Through the magic of the internets. And they got all the results, and then they were like, yeah, you have sleep apnea. You've been stopping breathing like a million times, when you sleep. And then the hard part was, the hardest part, that wasn't even the hard part. The actual sleep test was really no big deal. But then when you get your CPAP machine, and the first night wearing the mask, you have like this headset thing, and it's like a mask. And they have different types. They have, like, mine goes over my mouth and my nose. They do have some that just go over the nose, I think. Like it's a smaller type of a deal. I've got sort of the full deal. There goes the guy again. And I remember the first night I really couldn't sleep. And in fact, I think I just ripped it off. I just took it off, and I said, fuck this shit. I'm not doing it. But then I was like, I had this realization that if I didn't do it, I would lose my job, as a truck driver. I had to do it. Now that I had been diagnosed with sleep apnea, I was required to have to do this. So I told myself, okay, look, this is a new thing. It's not normal. It's not what I'm used to. It's going to take some getting used to. And so I made a deal with myself. I said, look, just do this every night for 1 week. And if after 1 week I'm still not used to it, or, then I'll quit. I won't do it. And I'll just quit being a truck driver or whatever. And I had to make myself this deal. I was like, give it 1 week. And so I did it. And I noticed that every night it got a little bit easier. I got a little bit more used to it. And lo and behold, after 7 days, I was completely fine with using that mask. And I've been using it ever since. So if you are going on a CPAP machine and you're wearing the mask, because they do have a surgery now you can do where they do an implant or something, and I guess you just turn it on remotely or whatever, and you don't have to wear a mask. You can do that. I don't know much about, other than what I just told you, I don't know much about it. But if you're wearing the mask and you're finding it really difficult at first. Just give yourself time. Give yourself 7 nights. And after 7 nights, I don't know if you'll be 100% okay, but you definitely will be a lot more used to it than you were on night 1. So I guess the moral of that story is sometimes you just got to give yourself some time to adjust to new things. And a lot of people are put off by that mask, but don't let that keep you from getting. If that machine is gonna A, give you a good night's sleep, and B, is gonna keep you alive, because there are people that die. Reggie White is one of them. A former NFL football player died in his sleep because he had sleep apnea, and he wasn't using this machine or anything. So, this is like an important issue. You could die in your sleep because you could stop breathing and not start back up again. That's the whole thing. That's the CPAP machine keeps you breathing. So it's a new thing. It's foreign. You're not used to having something strapped to your head. It's going to take some time to get used to it, and it took me 7 days. So just keep that in mind if you're going through that, and you're thinking, I can't do that. Diane says, I tried CPAP. It lasted a week. I hated the damn thing. The hose was short. I'm claustrophobic, so I hated it. Well, they do have the surgery. They do have a procedure. I guess it's a very, I guess the way they make it sound is it's pretty simple. I mean, they implant something in your chest, I think. And I guess you just can turn it on remotely. I think you can use your phone or something to turn it on when you go to sleep at night. That's something to look into. If you can't get past that week, like I said, then you might consider that surgery option. Nick Rich, after losing about 30 pounds, I sleep a lot better. Yeah, that could help too. Mad Mac is here. Mad Mac says exactly 10 minutes. Their 10-minute break is over upstairs. It's back to work time. Steve Sayer says, free Captain Paul Watson, founder of Sea Shepherd, imprisoned by Danish for the Japanese government. That's breaking news to me. I didn't hear that. Jeff Curry says, Kimchi daughter just texted me and said I have to go to Asian market. Sent me a pic of jar of kimchi. Said, this shit is insanely good. Well, there you go. Midas Kevin says, Predator is the alien. Oh, okay. That's what the Predator sounds like? Kimchi, Fancy says, don't eat kimchi. Mr. Spock could be like that Florida man who won the Darwin Award, put 2, was it tampons, in his nostrils to stop his snoring. It stopped his breathing. Wow. Aaron West, says, guy I went to high school with died in his sleep due to untreated sleep apnea. Yeah, see? This is important shit. This isn't just something to overlook. Because for a while, when I stopped driving, I did stop using my CPAP machine for about, I want to say 9 months or 10 months. It just felt nice to not be tethered to the CPAP machine. And I was actually getting pretty good sleep without it. But then I noticed a few times, and for some reason I just forgot. I do remember a few times waking up in my sleep, like very luckily, fortunately, waking up out of my sleep, like waking up just gasping. And what that does also, it gives you this almost like this, what do you call that, heartburn, that acid reflux type of thing. That's almost what it feels like. And I had to get up and get a drink of water. And it happened a few times where, I mean, it was really, really, like, I could tell, you could just tell, like, even though I was in a sound sleep, and I woke up just like kind of like jumping out of bed and just gasping for air. And it took about 3 or 4 of those incidences where I finally remembered, like, oh yeah, I'm not using my CPAP machine. This is why I need my CPAP machine. And I think I had it packed in a box, from when I moved in here. And I was like, I better unpack my CPAP machine and start using that thing. What am I thinking? What the fuck am I thinking? And then, and I've been using it again for, I don't know, all this whole year now, probably. But I did go for, I think, about 9 months or something where I didn't use it. Maybe even longer. I don't know, maybe a year. And then I started getting these things where I was just like, I think I almost died a few times. And then I was like, what the fuck am I doing? Why am I not using my CPAP machine? It was just one of those things where I kind of, for me, it's like out of sight, out of mind. I kind of forgot about the CPAP machine because it was packed away in a box. And then when I had probably like I said, probably 3 or 4 of these incidences where I woke up in my sleep, gasping for air. And I was like, and finally on the 3rd or 4th one, finally the light bulb went off, and I was like, oh, that's right, I'm supposed to be using a CPAP machine, like a dummy. Diane says, or they have a BiPAP machine. My old pulmonologist wanted me to do that, but my insurance wouldn't cover it, so I never got it. I would have had to make big monthly payments. Wow. Yeah, some of this shit is expensive, and it's too bad it's not covered, with insurance or something. Diane says, I had surgery to remove my tonsils and adenoids, and then another surgery to fix my deviated septum. I was only breathing out of one side of my nose since the surgeries. My sleep apnea went away. Wow. Well, that's good. That's a good side effect to have. Jeff Curry says, Isolde, I like it the hotter the better. There you go. Because Isolde said it's delicious and healthy. To tell the truth, I don't know if I've ever had kimchi. That didn't sound right. Josh says, my dad got an implant for back pain. He can control with his phone. He doesn't need the pain meds. Wow. See, that's the marvels of modern medicine, right? Anywho. All right, guys. So what's going on? So somebody said something about somebody's being held by the Japanese. I don't know. But what's going on? We got less than 2 weeks left before Election Day. Make sure if you can get your votes in, and you have early voting, mail-in voting, make sure you do that. And I know there's a lot of people, they like to vote on same day. That's fine. If you like to vote on the day, I have a problem with that. I guess the reason that I remind everyone, and I encourage everyone to vote as soon as they get their ballot. If they have mail-in balloting or early ballot or early voting, and you can drop your ballot off at a ballot box early. The reason I encourage everyone to do that is so that all of a sudden it's voting day and you haven't voted and you didn't even fill out your ballot yet, or maybe you just forgot about it. Sometimes people forget about shit. Even as we talk about voting, and we've been talking about voting for 2 years now. We've been talking about this election. So, but people can forget. People can get busy doing stuff. And so that's why and I think others, we always are reminding people to vote, encouraging people to vote. If you can do it early, to do it early. But if you want to vote on the same day and that's your thing, then I have no problem with that. I got no problem with that. But just make sure you get your votes in. Make sure you get your ballot in. But we're what are we, 12 days away or something, or 13 days away? So it's, before you know it, it's going to be here. Before you know it, Election Day is going to be here, and we will have a new president, a new Madam President. Is what we're going to have. Diana says, bless you. Thank you. Fancy voted. Good for you, Fancy. Nick Rich says, November is 13 days. Yep. November is going to play huge, and that's what's going to play huge, especially I think in these red states that might turn a little purple this year because of November. We might see a calling all red because of November. Who knows? So, that's a good thing. Midas Kevin says, "Why in the heck does it breathe up your face? Boring." I don't know. Jolie says, "Bless you." Thank you. I don't know why all of a sudden I got like this runny nose going. I got a runny nose? I got to say runny nose. Diana Caballero says, "I'm dropping my mail-in ballots tomorrow at my nearest supervisor of elections office." Good for you, Diane. Good on you. Let's see. Julie says, "Yay, fancy. Me too. I voted yesterday with my daughters." Nick Rich says, 20 past. Hey, I'm caught up. I'm all caught up with y'all. Diane Capiano says, "Did anyone watch the CNN town hall with VP Harris last night?" I didn't watch it. I was watching Liberal Dan show a little bit. Let's see. Josh says, "I saw clips." Diane Roberts says, "Trucker John, give us trucklers your World Series prediction before the first pitch. Dodgers in 4. I only say that because I'm a Dodgers fan. I don't know. It's one of those things. It'll probably go 6 or 7 games, and but of course I'm rooting for the Dodgers, so I hope the Dodgers win. I think the Dodgers have always this season has been a weird season. By the way, rest in peace, Fernando Valenzuela. Great Dodger pitcher of the 80s, just passed away, 63 years old, passed away just the other night, and that was pretty sad to hear that. But the Dodgers have had a really challenging year, and so just to make it here is kind of amazing, to make it to this World Series. I mean, they have a great offense, no doubt, with Shohei Ohtani leading the way. Freddie Freeman, who's been banged up through this whole postseason, but they've had a few days to rest him. He'll probably be back in the lineup. Mookie Betts. I mean, they're just all through the lineup. Great hitting and great clutch hitting. Defense is pretty solid, but the pitching, it's been the pitching issue. So many of their starters down with injuries and coming back from injuries. We've had a lot of bullpen games, which for you, if you don't know about baseball, it's basically where you're just using your bullpen instead of having a starting pitcher that's going to start and hope it gets you 5 or 6 or 7 innings. They're going to just go start the game with the bullpen and be changing pitchers out every inning or every other inning, and that's kind of a tricky thing to do. It's worked for them for the most part. They did have a pretty bad game. A bullpen game, I think, one against San Diego, and I think one in this last series against the Mets. But it's by and large, it's been working. I don't know if I guess we're just hoping that there's just one more series to go, and hopefully they can pull it together. The pitching can just, because at one point they had what was it, 30-something or 40-something innings of scoreless innings from the bullpen, consecutive scoreless innings. So we're hoping that the bullpen and the pitching staff can really come through here, and that's going to be the big question mark: is how is the pitching going to hold up, and specifically the bullpen, the relievers? How are they going to perform, and how will they fare? So, but I'm picking the Dodgers. I mean, I don't think it's a clear cut whether you're a Yankees fan or a Dodgers fan. Yankees have a great lineup too, with of course Aaron Judge and Soto and Stanton, and they've got some really strong pitching. So I don't know what the odds are. I don't know what Vegas has laid the odds at. I would think maybe the Yankees are a slight favorite. Maybe I like I said, I haven't even looked at anything as far as the betting lines or anything, but I would imagine they might be putting the Yankees as a slight favorite, but because I think they have the edge in pitching. But I think it's going to be a really good series. It starts off at Dodger Stadium tomorrow night, I think. No, yeah, tomorrow night. Friday and Saturday. The first two games are in LA. Hopefully, LA can win both of their home games. If not, then they're going to be in real trouble. But we'll see. But of course, I'm always rooting for the Dodgers. And there goes that goddamn thing again. All right, so let's see. Diana Capiano says, I hope Hakeem Jeffries becomes Speaker of the House. Little Maggot Johnson needs to go. Absolutely. Well, we're going to win the House back. I'm pretty confident we're going to win the House back, and we will see Hakeem Jeffries as Speaker. I think that's going to happen. Let's see. Witchy Woman says, thanks, guys. Mama needs a new kitchen. There you go. Diane says, fancy. Yep, he'll still be a Trump bootlicker. Talking about Mike Johnson. Robert Perez, get money out of politics and get gambling out of professional sports. And I don't know if either of those things will ever happen. But let's see. Oh, James Williams is here. Hey, James. If I didn't say hi to you, hello to James Williams. Thanks for dropping on into the old driver's lounge. The driver's lounge. Josh says he's got to be chiseling up tiles. They don't really have tiles here. I mean, they do have laminate flooring. There really are no tiles. I don't believe. Fancy says Ted Cruz is going to lose. I sure hope so. And it could. It's, right now, I guess it's neck and neck. And to be in Texas and to have the Democrat being neck and neck, it's looking good. I hope Colin Allred can pull it off. It would be nice to flip that seat for sure. What did Nick Rich say? Because I don't see Nick Rich on here, but oh, Nick Rich just says hi to James Williams. A political reading. Oh, and then Fancy says I was thinking of doing that. Diane says I live in Florida, voting for Debbie M. Powell for Senate. Republican Senator Skelter Rick Scott needs to go, and I really hope so. Like, I'm hoping Rovember. That's going to be another one of those Rovember to remember. Maybe that's what makes it possible. If it wasn't for Rovember, I think we would be looking at another 6 years of Rick Scott. But maybe some miracles can happen this November 5th. So yeah, thanks for voting, Diane, for Debbie Powell, and for Senate. Yeah, Rick Scott. Will Scott is a real bastard person, and he does need to go. So I really hope Powell can win. Robert Perez says that's so much cutting to be a Sawzall. Yeah, I don't know if it's a Sawzall, but whatever it is, like someone said, I don't know what they said, but it's some sort of really loud thing. That's my technical jargon. It's a really loud thing. James Williams says, I have been building the neighbor's dream kitchen for the last few days. It keeps me busy. Well, that sounds cool. Probably loud and noisy there too, huh? Jeff Curry says, eating kimchi and chicken strips for lunch now. There you go. Diane Capabianco says, come on, Texas. Colin Allred for the win. Yeah, wouldn't that'd be great if we can get Colin Allred in Texas, and if we can get Powell there in Florida, that would be pretty awesome. Witchy Woman says VP Harris just announced 2 more Republican endorsements. Oh wow, Who were they? I haven't heard. Fancy says just 11 days to go vote. Is it 11? I thought we were down. I thought it was 13, but I don't know. 70 says this is going to be the longest 11 days of my life. Robert Perez, why don't you ask the Sawzall his opinion on Trump? Fancy says, me too, Stephanie. I feel anxious. Yeah, I feel a little anxiety. I mean, because like I'll feel really confident that Kamala Harris is going to win, but then that whole 2016 it seeps in, and it's like, remember 2016, John? Remember how you thought Hillary was going to win? You were so sure, so confident that Hillary was going to win, and then we ended up with the fucking orange shit stain in there instead. So yeah, that memory of 2016 always seeps in. It always rears its ugly head. So that's why we got to not get complacent. We got to make sure we vote, get our ballots in. Don't take anything for granted, Don't assume anything. Keith Fleet says abortion rights are on the ballot in Missouri. Hope that drives turnout and benefits Lucas Coons. Yes, the abortion rights. That's the Rovember. And that would be nice too. That'd be another good pickup. Yeah, just think if we can get Coons and Allred and Powell and that cow, you and the cow, I want to party with you, man. But yeah, let's do it, man. Let's do it. Let's do it to it. Hey, Paul Shruggy Manion. Hi, everyone. I got the blues. Hey, Paul. I hope you're doing well. I know you and your family just went through a really, tragic event, and I hope you're doing well and the family. Thanks for being here. Thanks for spending some time with us and hanging out with us. And I'm glad to see you here, though. So I hope things, that's just tough. It's just tough. And so my thoughts go out to you. Mad Max says, maybe the person upstairs ate too much Mexican food last night. Yeah. Could be. That'd be if they went to the Taco Bell down the street. Fancy says, now I'm more anxious. Diane Capobianco says, Roxanne agrees Scott should be in prison for stealing from Medicare. Yeah, the guy is just, he's just your typical Republican grifter, right? Roxanne Arfield is here. Says hello to Sharky. Aaron West, there are women voting for Mark Robinson in North Carolina. And that's a head scratcher. But hopefully not too many women are. Diane Capobianco says, I'm watching Halligan on election night. He did 24-hour coverage, stayed up all night. I'm scared to watch the results myself. My husband doesn't care for politics. And I'll be doing a morning show on Tuesday, even if Hal's on, by the way. I think I'm still going to do my regularly scheduled show. Even if Hal is on. That's the one time, that might be the one and only time that I might be going on the same time as Hal. And but it'll just be my 2-hour time in the morning. I don't know what time Hal's going to start. Maybe someone should tell Hal not to start until after 11 on Tuesday. James Williams says his internet's being glitchy a lot today. My upstairs maintenance crew is being glitchy today. Mad Max says, hey, Sharky, keep him in your thoughts, and he will always be there. Keith Lee, we need to be prepared for to not knowing the results of the election for a couple of days. Yeah. Yeah, with all these these mail-in ballots coming in, and then with some of these states have laws that you can't start counting them until the polls close, which is stupid horseshit. There might not be some results right away. Yeah, Hal might have to do he might have to do a 72-hour or whatever marathon show. Keith Lee says we need to be prepared. Oh, I already read that. Minus Kevin says meow. Okay. 7v2 says I'm outside with my puppy, letting him enjoy the sunlight and warmth while it lasts. Oh, I know. I think I saw a video of your puppy. Didn't I see that? I think I was watching that a few weeks ago. Cute puppy. James Williams says internet is glitching. Oh, I read that. That sounds like a glitch. Isolda says now I'm dreading it. Uh-oh, what are you dreading? Did I miss something from Isolda? Anyhow, sorry you're dreading something. Witchy Women, oh, Steph, sun is good for you too. Nick Rich, I haven't stayed awake for more than 24 hours since the mid-80s. Diane Capiano says, Jolie, oh, I know I keep myself busy cleaning and stuff around the house while having podcasts in the background. That's how you do it. Witchy Woman says, I got 2 of the 4 cats addicted to watching mice and birds on TV. They sit on the end of the bed and wait for me to turn it on. That's so funny. That's hilarious. That's pretty hilarious. I'm almost out of my delicious coffee. Good to the last drop. Okay. So, yeah, so make sure you vote. Let's get those votes in, get those ballots in. Let's vote for Kamala Harris, and let's vote blue for all this dear to you trademark. Vote blue down ballot. Let's flip that House, and let's flip some seats in the Senate. Let's do this. All right. Let's let Rovember rain down upon ye. Something of this nature. Something of that nature. I don't think I have any new little memes to post. I think I posted everything last time. But I guess since we've been talking about Rovember, I can repost this one. It's like row your vote. Yeah, there you go. Row your vote. We're going to be seeing some surprise elections, I think. Look at the midterms in 2022. There was no big red wave. Look at all the special elections that have popped up here and there across the country where we've seen Democrats outperform, I guess, overperform, whatever. And I think that's due in large part to like the Dobbs decision and all these places that are trying to do away or are doing away with women's right to bodily autonomy, women's rights to their own health care, to make their own decisions, their own reproductive choices. Those are being taken away in so many places. And I think we're seeing that is getting people out to vote. And I think it's a good thing. So Minus Kevin says, John, you sure you're not being hunted? I don't think I'm being hunted. If I was, I'd be dead by now because I'm a sitting duck. As old as in says, I'm afraid Trump is going to squeak by. No, he's not. He's not going to squeak by. He's going to get his ass kicked is what he's going to do. By the black lady. Keith Fleet says, I remain calm in the knowledge that Kamala Harris meets every moment handed her so far. Witchy Woman says, vote blue, democracy needs you. There you go. Diane Capiano says, I worry about the damn electoral college. That's what got Trump in 2016. Yeah. He tried to fake, I mean, that's always a worry. It's always a concern. That's for sure. But I think his path to the electoral college, I think Kamala's path is there definitely. I think she's going to win Pennsylvania. I don't know about Nevada. We got a bunch of weirdos here in Nevada, but I don't know. Yeah, that's where it's going to come to. Like the popular vote, Kamala Harris is going to win. No ifs, ands, or buts. Kamala Harris will win the popular vote. But as we know, that's not what gets you in the White House. It's the Electoral College. And I still think Kamala is going to carry enough of those swing states to get to the 270 that she needs, right? And as far as fake electors and all that, I think we're going to be really super vigilant on that. Mad Max says it's my oldest dog's birthday today. Bonnie Lass is 8 human years old today. She's going to get some nice goodies when I get home tonight. Oh, that's nice. Happy birthday, Bonnie Lass. Diana Capobianco, stop states want to stop women from traveling too. Yeah, it's just for them, for the Republicans right now, it really is Handmaid's Tale. All that Project 2025, that's all Handmaid's Tale. Oh, some states want, yeah. So, but we could call them stop states. Those are the stop states. Rosanna says, spreading love and joy to everyone. Oh, thank you, Rosanna. Thank you for being here, by the way. Thanks for joining us over here in the driver's lounge. Good to see you. Thanks for hanging out. And I hope everyone likes, subscribes, and shares. Let's share the show. Share that button share the show to all your social medias. Let's get us going here. We're at 3,459, or we were at 3,560. Someone dropped out. I don't know. But here we are, almost approaching 3,500 subscribers. Let's keep it going on our march to 1 million. And it's all because of you guys. You guys watch, you like, you subscribe, you share, you comment. Gets us in the algorithm. And let's do this. Let's do this thing. So that when I get to 1 million subscribers, you guys can say, I knew him when he was just a nobody. I knew Trucker John when... A lot of you guys actually in this chat, you knew Trucker John when he only had like 180 subscribers or something. So look at you guys now. So yeah, let's grow the show. Like, subscribe, share. We have super chats, super stickers, memberships, and all that good stuff. And hopefully, I will get better on the members only Mondays. I didn't do last week. I was busy doing stuff, and I was going to try to get one in. And it just didn't happen. But we'll get it going. We'll get that going. Hey, Michael Argangelski is here. Good to see you, Argangelski. Just voted. Let's go. All right, Michael, thanks for voting. Good on you. Good job. Yeah, let's get those votes in. Get those ballots in. Diane Capobiano says, I know the government is upping security for the Electoral College counting. Yeah, I think so. I think, they already tried this little thing once, and it's the old saying, fool me once, shame on me. Wait, fool me once, shame on you. I'm so George W. Bush when it comes to fool me once, shame on you. Fool me twice, I will be fooled again. Type of a deal. So anyhow, Midas Kevin says, fancy, I'm sending by you. Only you. Jonathan Earl's here. Hey, Jonathan, good to see you. Says Electoral College is merely a hump. 5 or so million more votes are needed. Hey, Jonathan Earl, thanks for being here. Fancy says, don't be surprised if I fall asleep. All right, I won't be. Thanks for the warning. Would you woman puff pass if you are not at work? Minus Kevin. I'm watching a musical in my play. Oh, nice. Nick Richards, though, he's all on board with the puff passing. Keith Lee says, John, do you rent the car that you use as an Uber driver? Well, right now, I do, but right now I don't have a car. I don't know if you remember the saga. I'm still in the saga. From my Hertz Tesla rental. I haven't had a car in over a week. Right? Yeah, it's been over a week now. And I'm still trying to get one. I've checked out a bunch of other different companies. They have like 3 or 4 other companies. The Avis thing, Avis was. Here's the funny thing about this: if you go on the Uber app and it says, "Do you want to rent a car?" and you have these rental options, and they had Avis on there, and they had a picture of a Mach E. I remember talking about this a few shows ago, and I was going to set up an appointment to go over to Avis in Henderson. But then the next day, or whenever I went back on there, I guess it was after that show, or I guess maybe that same day, I went on there and it was gone. That whole link just disappeared. The Avis link was gone. So either what happened, maybe they only have one car that they do, or maybe they have a few cars or something, and maybe when they're all rented up, they just pull the link off, or maybe they just don't even do it. I don't know, but that was gone. And then they had there's one called Buggy, there's one called Drive Around, there's one called Sally, I think it's called. They have these other companies where you can rent from, and I was looking into them, and they just all seem hokey. And I've tried to get a hold of them. I've signed up for them, and it's I mean, whatever my faults with Hertz are, or not liking Hertz about certain things, these companies are even way worse, and they're like small unknown companies. And I've been trying to just get into their system has been a whole thing. So that's not working out. Trying to rent a car from one of those places. So now I'm back to Hertz, trying to get on with them. And so hopefully shortly here I'll be able to because you got to make an appointment, and then you got to go down. And a lot of times, because the Uber app, it's like is one hand, and then the Hertz office is the other hand, and they don't work together. Whatever how's that saying go about? I don't know. They're not really working with it. So in other words, the Uber app will just let you make an appointment, like any time, any day, any hour, pretty much. But when you go down there, like with no idea of what the inventory is like, because then you go down there to get a car, and then they'll say, "We don't have any cars available right now," and you just got to keep going back until you finally get one. And so far I haven't got one, so I'll try again probably tomorrow. I don't know, but yeah, it's a rental. Someday I'm gonna buy. Hopefully, I will be in a place financially where I can buy one. Witchy woman says also don't have to write Tesla, laughing out loud. They need 4 rocket scientists to write an estimate. Roxanne Arfield, have a good day. Paul Sharkman, guard evening. Let's see. Jeff Curry says my daughter's Tesla has a whoopee cushion app. Yeah, that's another thing. Elon Musk thinks he's so cute and clever, and in the apps on the thing, they have the whoopee cushions. You can make fart noises for your turn signals and all that kind of stuff. Which I don't even use. I just drive the car. I'm just driving the car. I don't need whoopee cushion sounds. I don't need fart noises. How about this, Elon Musk? Design a car that's just a good, well-built car that gets good range, and that's affordable. How about that? I don't need your fucking whoopee cushions. I don't need your fart noises, and I don't need your ugly Cybertruck, and I don't need your ugly Cybercab. Okay, your company has done pretty well designing the Model 3, the Model Y, and the Model S, and even the Model X is nice. Okay, stick to that. Stick to your lane and stay in your lane when it comes to that. The Cybertruck is junk. The Cybercabs are stupid. I don't need full self-driving. I can drive myself. I'm a fucking driver. I've been driving since I was 16 years old, or even before. I don't need a fucking computer to drive for me. I'll fucking drive. Just make a good car. Concentrate on your build quality, which sometimes can be pretty shitty, quite frankly. Concentrate on that. Concentrate on making a good car that doesn't have all the road noise coming through. And and concentrate on improving your battery technology, your range technology, your charging infrastructure. That's the shit you need, Elon Musk, to be concentrating on, not on fart noises and whoopee cushions. All right, Elon, you fucking moron. I really hope that Elon Musk ends up disgrace to the point where he has to step down as CEO and someone else can take over. Someone who's fucking a reasonable human being who knows how to design cars and is passionate about going into electric and getting off of fossil fuels. I'm hoping that day will come. Because I think the Tesla cars, like I said, the Model 3 is a great car. The Model Y is a great car. I just think Elon Musk is a fucking turd, and it's time for him to go. He did his part. He got Tesla into the position that it's in, whether it was help from the government with government grants. However, he did it. He did it. I mean, I gotta believe if it wasn't for Elon Musk, and I know he wasn't the originator of the company. There were two other guys that started it. And then he came in actually pretty early, a few years in, and he got into the board. He became the CEO. He bought his way into it, sort of a hostile takeover in a way. And he took it over, and he was able to utilize whether it was getting loans from Toyota and partnerships with Toyota, whether it was getting big government help from the government, loans or whatever. However he did it, I don't give a fuck. He was able to get Tesla into the position of having the number one selling car in the world in the Model Y. And Model 3 is right up there. It's one of the top 10. So I think that's a great feat, because before that, as early as even the mid-2000s, the other car companies had no interest whatsoever about going to EVs. They were saying it's never going to happen. There's not a chance in hell. These EVs are no go, and they had no interest whatsoever in making EVs. And then, through the popularity of Tesla, kept getting more and more popular, selling more and more. First they had the Model S, and then they came out with the Model 3 and the Model Y, and those started taking over. They started being huge sellers, and that really, to me, is what the other companies. They said maybe there is, maybe, and then you started seeing more and more, I guess, sort of legislation and things that are steering us and trying to wean us off of fossil fuels. But that's just been recently, mainly under Biden. So it's relatively all new. We are still in the infancy stages of getting off of fossil fuels and going into alternative fuel sources, whether that be right now it's electric, it might end up being hydrogen fuel cells, it might be something else that I didn't even think about. It might be those carbon diamond batteries that Dallas Sparks always talks about. I don't know. But we are at least, I think, headed in the right direction. And I think I can give Elon Musk at least some credit for however he did it. And I know the criticism is that Elon Musk wants to present himself as being this great genius and that he did it all on his own. He doesn't make any sort of he doesn't reference or give credit to the help he got from the U.S. government, from Barack Obama, basically. He doesn't want to acknowledge that, and he's totally in on Trump now. So, like I said, the guy's a turd, and I don't like him anymore. But I think you have to give him some credit that he did get Tesla, by hook or by crook, into the position that it is now, and it has helped to sway and turn things around, at least in the future development of the big car manufacturers like GM and Ford and even Toyota, and all of them. They've all got EV cars that they're either somewhere that are out and being sold, and that they're developing new lines of EVs. And I think a lot of that, I think Tesla can and Elon Musk can get some credit for that. But also, Barack Obama and Joe Biden and AOC, people like that, So anyhow, that's my little thing about that. It's sort of a mixed bag because I really like Teslas, but I don't like Elon Musk at all. I mean, the way he's stumping for Trump and doing the $1 million thing, and even before that, his anti-Semitic views, just horrible things that he says on Twitter, on X, I guess. Just really showing what a really horrible person it is. He's not really a good person. But I do love the cars. I do love those cars, man. I gotta say it. My favorite car I've ever driven is the Model 3. I've been driving them for over a year and a half now, even though, except for the last week. And I really do love that car. And it's my favorite car that I've ever driven. I even though I don't own it, I feel like I'm a Tesla, person, because I've been driving it, like I say, for a year and a half. And I think it's a great car, man. It's a great car. It's just a shitty fucking CEO. And he needs to go. And when the new CEO takes over, they need to hire Trucker John to be an advisor, to tell them what they should and shouldn't do, where they should develop. We don't need fucking cyber cabs, and we don't need that fucking cyber truck. Make a truck that looks like a fucking truck, Anyhow, just work on your range and work on your charging system infrastructure. Those are the areas you need to work on. Okay, enough of that. Let's see. So 72 says, what I hate is watching a movie and all of a sudden pops up Elon as a character in it. He's usually the bad guy. The only time I've seen Elon pop up as a character, I think, is like South Park or something. So I don't know. Let's see. Did I skip a bunch of stuff? Probably did, huh? Which your woman, Trucker John? I have a job offer as an independent appraiser. Oh, nice. Nick Rich, I searched for the Tesla motorhome. Looks awesome. The price seems bogus. I did just see a couple little quick pictures of that. It looks kind of cool. And that's another thing. Musk will always say, like the Cybertruck. It was supposed to only be $39,000. Comes out, it's $100,000, right? He always does that shit. He says the Model 3 was supposed to be $30,000. It's been usually in the 40s, whatever. He keeps saying he's going to come out with this $25,000 model, whatever, Tesla. He talks and talks and talks, and he's always way off, But yeah, Fancy said the new Tesla motorhome is supposed to be under 17,000. Yeah, so what that means is, well, if it's under 17,000, I was going to say it's going to be 34,000. Probably you can probably double it, but even that seems low. So don't be surprised if it's like 80 or 90 grand or something. That's the thing about Elon Musk. He's lost, I think, all credibility, and not only just with the political stuff, but even before that, where he always says, "Oh yeah, the Tesla Semi was going to be coming out," and he's been talking about that for like 7 years or something. And they just have a few of them out and some test markets, a couple of places. All this stuff, he's always way, and it's not just by a little bit. He's always way off on his estimates, or at least what he's telling. Basically, because he has these shareholder meetings or whatever, and he tells people, he makes all these big promises, tells them what they want to hear, but it's never even close. It's never even close. In terms of price, or even in terms of, a production date, or a date, when something will be put out. Which woman, he can't make a car under 40K. How is that idiot gonna make a cheap, I guess, RV? Yeah. Hey, Big Hook is here. Good to see Big Hook. Thanks for joining us here in the driver's lounge. And he was talking about, I guess, Jolie's turtle, Franklin. Cutest turtle I've ever seen in my life. And let me tell you, I'm not really a big turtle guy, but Franklin I think I've fallen in love with Franklin, quite honestly. Witchy woman, I drive my cars until they die because that's what poor people do. That's pretty much what I do. Yeah, I just try to get as many years out of them as I can. Get my money's worth, you know. Might as well. MJ Daniel says Leon is a disgusting troll. All he did was hire the smart people, didn't take credit. I don't know if he took credit, like people say. And I have no problem. I don't have a problem with him hiring smart people. That's what you're supposed to do. I think other people, like his fans, his fanboys, they're the ones that go around saying that Elon Musk is a genius and that Elon Musk, did everything. I don't know if Elon says that, but Fancy says Elon is weird, and I agree with that. I think he's weird, and it's okay to be weird, but now he's weird to the point where it's dangerous. I mean, well, I guess it goes beyond weird when you get to the horrible things that he said on X, and then backing Trump and all that, which is really, really odd because Trump, prior to Elon coming on board and donating who knows how many tens of millions of dollars to his campaign through super PACs, through dark money and all that kind of shit, and then whatever he can do up front, right? Prior to that, Trump was never in favor of EVs. He would talk them down. Remember, he would go, "You get in the car and then it just goes, woof. It just dies." Remember, he would say Trump would say a lot of shit about EVs. But now that he's getting all of Trump, getting a lot of this Elon Musk money into his campaign, Trump kind of changes his tune. So I get maybe that's the whole point of Musk. I've been trying to figure out what is Musk's motivation for the last 6 months. Like I've been thinking, like, why is he going on X and he's appealing to all these maggots? And my thought was, well, because he wants them to buy EVs too. Because he already knows that he's got the liberals, he's got the Green New Deal types, which I guess I would be one of them. He's got the people that are in favor of getting off of fossil fuels and going to alternative sources of transportation, of energy, and such as an electric vehicles. We're on board for that. And I think he probably thought, okay, he's got most of us hooked. He probably calculated it that if I start appealing to the maggots, I might lose a few of the liberals, but by and large, I'm going to probably keep most of them because they love my cars and they don't want to, they don't want to leave it or whatever. So he probably calculated that in as being sort of whatever he loses, that's like sort of a necessary losses because he's hoping to gain more in terms of popularity with the maggots as far as them buying his cars. Now, I'm not sure if that's working. There are a lot of these maggots and right-wingers that still don't really want anything to do with Teslas. He might be picking up a few of them, though, making a few fans of the car over there on the right. But I don't think it's I don't think it's worth it. So, I don't know. Maybe I'm giving Musk too much credit, and maybe he's just a dick. Maybe it has nothing to do with trying to get more conservatives or Republicans or right-wingers or maggots to come over and buy his vehicles. Maybe it has nothing to do with that. And maybe it's just all this Elon Musk is a true through and through asshole. Or maybe it's both. Maybe it's both those things. Or all those things. I don't know. Nick Rich has got an e-bike and an e-scooter. Neither one is made by Tesla. Nope. MJ Daniel says Ford has 4 different all-electric F-150s, and I'm pretty sure they are better than the Tesla truck. I think so. They might not have the range, but all of the trucks, I think even the Tesla truck, and certainly the F-150s, the E-Lightning or whatever they call it, and even the Silverado has a really sharp-looking Silverado EV, and it gets about 440 miles of range, but that's basically with no load, no trailer. Once you hook a trailer up to it, like a camper trailer or any type of even a utility trailer, if you're trying to haul, whether it's building materials or whether it's hauling other, motorcycles or other, off-road vehicles or whatever, your range drops precipitously. And that is the big drawback right now of the pickup trucks. They get pretty good range when they're empty, or and they're just hauling people around, and maybe a few things in the back. You can still get pretty good range. I think the Fords have over 300 miles of range. The Chevy Silverado, like I said, 440. But once you put anything of any sizable load on it, it drops to, I think, under 100, that's a big drawback. But these are things, like I said, we are in the infancy stages of electric cars, electric vehicles, of battery technology, all that. We are still really in the early stages, and it's going to get better. In the next 5 to 10 years, I think we won't even see these type of problems in terms of range and infrastructure. I think it's going to be, as long as we can keep progressing, I think it's going to be the whole thing. Stephanie Pichu says, I was just watching Lost. He was on it. I don't remember that. I remember watching Lost. I think I watched every episode of Lost. And I don't remember Elon Musk being in Lost. Now I'm going to have to go and rewatch the show. Oliver Brownlow says, Elon Musk is the very worst brand of aftershave. Hey, there's Ado Redness. Elon Musk is a technocrat like his grandfather. Money over democracy. Well, thank you, Ado, for being here, by the way. I don't think I've seen you before. Just want to welcome you to the Driver's Lounge. Make sure you like, subscribe, and share. Especially hit that like button right away, if you could. But thanks. And yeah, Elon's a technocrat. Money over democracy. Well, and at this point, him being the richest man in the world, at this point, if he's still putting money over everything, then that's a really sickness. It's a real sickness. Money can be just as addicting as heroin, I think. The love of it and everything. Big Hook says, I wish Garland would stop being so timid and start charging people, including Elon Musk. Election interference and insurrection will not stand. Yeah, Merrick Garland has been a real disappointment. I mean, I've sort of stood up for him a lot of times and defended him and just saying, like, okay, he's very pragmatic and he's very, crossing all his T's, dotting all his I's, making sure everything's in place. He's taking his time. But my God, there's doing that. And then there's the point where you're not doing anything. And so overall, I got to say, Merrick Garland is a real disappointment. Disappointed. Hey, Don't Host says, Leon is an illegal Martian immigrant, thus his obsession with trying to get back home. I say strap him to a SpaceX rocket and fire away. Yeah. MJ Daniel says, Volvo has announced an electric long-haul truck, the range of something like 350 plus miles. Leon can bite me. 350 miles. And it's not the range, like I say, the range, but what is the range under a load? If you can get a 40,000 pound load and still get 350 miles, that's doable. I would like to see 500 miles. Once you get to 500-mile range under a full load, that's when it will take off. That's when every trucking company will want one of those, and then the owner ops and the independents will follow. Mad Max says this is the only African American that fell in Trump likes. Yeah, I think I've heard that joke before. Hey, there's John from Las Vegas. Hey, good to see you, John. I haven't seen you in a while. I haven't seen you in the chat in a while, and I haven't seen you out in real life in a while. So good to see you today. John from Las Vegas says, as Tim Wall says, Elon Musk is a dipshit. Yeah, I was gonna post that on my opening. I didn't put that one in. I have that clip. Witchy Woman says, that's the thing, John. He doesn't have the liberals anymore. There are other car companies we can go to because we all hate his guts, so he needs the maggots to buy his cars. Yeah, but well, I think he still has a lot of liberals that are buying his cars, though. But I don't know. But even I have started thinking about looking at the Mach-E. I guess I just feel so confident about the Tesla because I've been driving them for a year and a half, and I know that car inside and out, and I know how reliable it is and how good it drives, and I know everything about the range. I feel very, very comfortable in that car. And so if I go look at other cars, then there's a whole process there of getting comfortable with it, you know. Let's see. Big Hook says Elon is clearly on ketamine daily. His engineers are the ones doing the work. Of course, even without the ketamine, of course he's not an engineer. Of course they are doing the work while he is on a stroking his ego and causing chaos, masquerading as free speech. Hey, Oliver Brownlow's here. It says bingo. Good to see Oliver in the chat. Thanks for joining us here today. Make sure you hit that thumbs button up for me. Nick Rich says Leon Scum thinks he's funny, asking nobody tries to assassinate Biden or Harris. Fuck him. Yeah, he's an asshole. Yeah, he is a total asshole. No doubt about it. Steven Sayers, are Teslas sold in China? I don't know, because China has their own company called BYD. That's basically a Tesla knockoff. I think they just buy the BYDs there. MJ Daniel says, now that there are more quality competition for the Tesla, the liberal types will be looking at buying something else. Everything EV will be improving fast. Yeah, it's going to be definitely improving and getting better. Enough crypto. Hey, enough crypto. Says John, the majority of Trump supporters will not buy Teslas. Anti-Trumps will stay away from Tesla. I agree. Yeah, that's what I was alluding to, or I think I even said that. But yeah, enough crypto. Thanks for being here, by the way. Thanks for joining us here in the Driver's Lounge. Make sure you hit that thumbs up for me. That'd be great if you could do that. Mad Max says, Steve Sayers, yes, they are sold in China. In August 2024, they sold over 65,000 vehicles in China. MJ Daniel says, I think most people buying the EV F-150 will not be doing much heavy hauling, and the range and payload will improve. Yeah, like I said, we're still in the infancy stages of all of this. It's going to be massively improving in 5 to 10 years from now. It'll be so much better than it is now. I mean, it'll be like night and day, the difference between night and day. James Williams says, some positive new developments with hydrogen hybrids from Honda and Toyota. Japan has exited the EV market. Witchy Woman said, I noticed this summer the neighbors, landscapers looking at me. Today they ignored me. Guess they only want to eat my cats when I wear a bikini. Weird. That's funny. Steve Sayers says, thank you, Mad Max. So how does the money work? Taxes on what he brings to the USA and nothing for offshore or other. I don't know. Diana Olson's here, says, hello, Trucker John. Hugs from Texas. Thank you, Diana. Thanks for joining us here in the driver's lounge. And as Nick Rich noticed, we are at over 2 hours now, so probably going to be signing off here in a little bit. I got some things I got to do, so I probably will be signing out here. But before I do that, well, you think you're going to just leave? Trucker John, you think you're just going to sign off, without old Tough Cookie making an appearance? Well, not on my watch. No way, Jose. You're not going to just sign off without old Tough Cookie coming on board. All right? Thank God that saw up there or whatever finally stopped. Freaking A, it was giving me a freaking headache. Goddamn jackhammer. What the fuck kind of place are they running here? Jackhammers and shit all over the place. My God. I'm going to have to start crashing over at Paul, the Pepper Beard guy's place from now on. What kind of joint you're running here? Anyhow. Yeah, I just had to pop in. I wasn't going to let Trucker John off the hook that easy. Thinks he can just end the show without me popping in here. Who the hell he thinks he is. Anyhow, guys, just want to say real quick, make sure you vote. Get those ballots turned in. We only got a few days left, couple weeks, less than 2 weeks. Let's vote blue like my eyebrows. You guys like my cute little blue eyebrows? Huh? Aren't those cute? The nice little blue frosting eyebrows. You guys notice I am red, white, and blue themed. I don't know why I got a green tie, but hey, All right, I did lose audio. My mic, my tiny mic, it let me down. Hopefully you guys can hear me now. If you guys can hear me, give me a thumbs up in the chat. Yeah, I guess I got the audio back on. I had forgotten to plug this in between the last show. And doggone it, if I hadn't gone 2 hours and 14 minutes, if I had only gone 2 hours and 10 minutes, I probably would have made it. Anyhow, you didn't miss much, I don't think. I don't think it missed much. But yeah, Stephanie says, Josh probably saying something very interesting, but we can't hear it. Yeah, it's always the best stuff of the show that gets meted out. Anyhow, I guess I was just saying that I'll see you guys at 3 p.m. Pacific time. I'll have my mic charged up so this doesn't happen again. But yeah, just the thing went dead. James says, I can't hear anything as John's singing. I'm a lumberjack. Hopefully I'm back on. You guys have got thumbs ups. I'm seeing thumbs ups. Some might be a little bit behind in the thing there, but I'm back. And we're back. But hey, I'm going to go ahead and sign off and charge my mic and do all that good stuff. I'll see you guys again 3 p.m. Pacific time, right here on the Trucker John channel. We'll do a little, an hour little hangout before Hal comes on, Hal Sparks, at 4 p.m. Pacific time. So let's hang out. Let's hang out at 3, from 3 to 4. All right, guys, so thank you so much for being here. John in Las Vegas was here, Oliver Brownlow, Diana Ellison, guys just popping in, James Williams, Mad Mac, Slava Ukraini, up there, Witchy Woman, Fancy, Nick Rich, all you guys. Thank you, Jolie. Thank you, Aaron West, for modding and all that good stuff. You guys are awesome, as always. I couldn't do it without you. I could not do it without you. So, but as always, I need to go stretch out my hamstrings because I don't like tight hamstrings. All right. See you guys at 3 p.m. Pacific time. All right.
Well, it's time to say goodbye. The show has come to an end. But don't be sad, no, don't you cry. We're all gonna come back and meet again. We'll have some fun times, hopefully nothing too bad. We might talk about war crimes, might talk about Baghdad. I doubt we'll talk about door chimes, but if we did, I'd be only too glad. So hostile of Easter, baby, the show is over, but could I ask you maybe to take a shower? No, that's not what I meant, but I couldn't think of anything to rhyme with over. Now my whole rhyming scheme is all screwed up. Oh shit, I should have stuck to truck driving, who I tried to kill. At least when I was out there driving, I could handle a skid, but doing this live stream, baby, has been a real kid. So I hope to see y'all again right here on the Trucker John live stream. We're gonna do it again and again, right here in the Trucker John live stream. Yeah, the Trucker John live stream. We're gonna come back and do it all again. No, this ain't no John live stream. Know it's time to say goodbye. The show is coming in. But don't be sad, no, don't you cry. We're all gonna come back and meet again. Well, it's time to say goodbye. The show has come to an end. But don't be sad, no, don't you cry. We're all gonna come back and meet again. We'll have some fun times, hopefully. Nothing too bad. We might talk about war crimes, might talk about Baghdad. I doubt we'll talk about gold chimes, but if we did, I'd be on to glad. So hasta la vista, baby. The show is over, but could I ask you maybe to take a shower? No, that's not what I meant, but I couldn't think of anything to rhyme with over. Now my whole rhyming scheme is all screwed up. Oh shit, I should've stopped a truck driving. Who am I trying to kid? At least when I was out there driving, I could handle the skid. Doing this live stream, baby, it's been a real kid. So I hope to see y'all again, right here on the Trucker John live stream. We gonna do it again and again and again, right here in the Trucker John live stream. Yeah, the Trucker John live stream. We're gonna come back